I'm Whitney Ward. This area is changing quickly, and our ongoing Boomtown series is tracking all of that growth. And there are some big changes happening right now, especially in Northwest Spokane. If you haven't driven by Joe Albi Stadium, you're going to be in for a big surprise because there's not much left of the 72-year-old stadium. Look at that. The artificial turf has all been stripped away. The aluminum bleachers are gone. In fact, most of the inside of Joe Albi has been demolished already. The school district right now says the stadium, which hosted countless high school games and concerts over the decades, will be completely torn down within the next month or so. Then the site will be filled in, leveled, and planted with grass. That'll happen by the end of July or early August. It was just a year ago that we expected a new stadium to be built there. However, it was eventually decided instead to move it into downtown Spokane. At this time, SPS says it doesn't have any immediate plans for the former Albi property. Some discussions have taken place within the city and the Parks Department, but no decisions have been made yet. In the meantime, Spokane Sports has some ideas.
There's been a concept that we've talked a lot about between school and the Parks Department is could you take that additional field area and add more fields to companion to what the Dwight Merkel facility is. And I think it could be as many as 8 multi-purpose fields.
So while we wait to know exactly what will happen at the site of the former stadium, construction is now well underway for the new downtown location. About 50% of the excavation there is already done. Another month or so of work is still needed, though, to remove all of the rocks at that site. SPS says the district is on track now for the new stadium to open in late summer or early fall of 2023. Another big story we are tracking at this hour, just as spring break travel is getting underway, a labor dispute at Alaska Airlines is forcing flight cancellations up and down the West Coast. We've been tracking those cancellations out of Spokane International Airport, as well as Seattle and Portland throughout the day. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is joining us now live from the airport. And Kyle, what have you learned here in the last hour or so?
Well, fortunately, we aren't seeing any canceled flights leaving Spokane, but just before noon today, there was an Alaska flight leaving Seattle. It was supposed to land in Spokane, but it was canceled. It was a much different story in airports in Seattle and Portland, and anyone who flies out of Spokane knows those two cities often connect you to your final destination. This morning, Alaska Airlines pilots picketed across the country. By 10:45 this morning, 73 flights were canceled at SeaTac. Alaska said in total it canceled more than 120 flights across the country. That's about 9% of its total flights. Pilots from Alaska Airlines say they are underpaid and overworked, but they aren't just asking for more money. The 3 big demands are flexible scheduling, quality of life, and job security.
It's certainly longer than it should take for a pilot group that basically got this airline through the pandemic. We deserve better than that. This contract should have been done considerable time ago. It's time for them to get serious about it. It's time for them to engage us at the negotiating table.
And the union has been trying to strike a deal for 3 years. In all, 1,500 pilots from across the country took part in the pickets today. Now this, as spring break travel is expected to reach pre-pandemic levels. And next week, some 3 large districts in the Spokane area, Spokane Public Schools, Central Valley, and Meade, they'll all be going on spring break, so expect a lot more activity here at the Spokane Airport. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much for the update. And now let's send things outside where actually it's a pretty beautiful day. Still cooler than maybe we expected, that we were at least hoping for, but still very pretty outside today. Jeremy, if you're out there right now, I did not see any grapple today. How's it looking out there for you right now?
It's actually quite lovely. Now, believe it or not, the coat is lined, so that's kind of my cheat right now, but temperatures are hovering on the mild side. We are up in the 50s across much of the inland Northwest. Not all that bad if you ask me. 51 in Coeur d'Alene and 50 there in Sandpoint, mid 50s out in central Washington with even more sunshine. With that sunshine, oh, does it feel warm this afternoon. We're going to clear out some more of this cloud cover, and as that clears out, well, it opens the door for our next frontal boundary to move through. That'll hit in the pre-dawn hours tomorrow morning, brings us some rain. That rain moves out by tomorrow midday, and then it's those clouds taking us into Sunday. So keep in mind, the weekend offers a bit of everything. Next 12 hours, we'll see that rain start to move in as clouds build, but that waits until the early morning hours of Saturday. And by Saturday afternoon, well, we're looking at another mild one across much of the region as we clear out some of those showers. Sunday, kind of our break in the action before our big time storm works its way in on Monday.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. In sports news, a big night for women's basketball in our region as the Hull Twins are playing in the Final Four of the women's NCAA tournament at 6:30. Lexi and Lacey Hull were basketball standouts at Central Valley 4 years ago, and now they are keeping it going. They are fresh off of playing in the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 right here in Spokane. Lexi has averaged 22 points over the team's 4-game tournament run. Lacey, well known for doing all the little things that add up for the team that don't necessarily show up in a box score. They both will start for the Cardinal, and they're taking on basketball powerhouse UConn tonight for a spot in the national championship. You can watch tonight's game on ESPN. We will also have a full wrap-up coming up tonight at 10 and 11.
I've shown a lot of houses. I know Zach has too, and we've never seen a house like this.
Still to come, an eye-catching house in North Spokane has now gone viral. After the break, we're taking you inside on a tour of the Corbin Art House.